What is up, fam? We are back this week with another Supra in the shop that has been here waiting for quite a while, collecting parts, trying to get it all done, and trying to make it to Supras in Vegas for this year for 2021. So this is our buddy Robert Razzo's car, and it is just a huge project. This is a Mk3 Supra, 1991. So it's a Koki model. I'm gonna go ahead and turn around right now, get us over to the bay to show you some stuff that's going on with this thing. It just needs so much work. Like the majority of all Mk3s, it's kind of a crap box, but being here at Sideways, I'm just gonna get all the love and all the stuff that we do for all of our customers and just get it to being top notch. So as you can see behind me, you got a 1JZ GTE non-VVTi in this car. The customer purchased this car for about $6,000, $7,000, I believe, with an RM54, because obviously it was a turbo model 91 chassis. Being a Koki and all the other good stuff, it has all the nice taillights everybody likes, and you know, like the nice bumpers. But on this one, we're going to be going ahead and installing a Shine Auto kit. It already has the front Shine Auto front fenders already installed. We have the rear wide body here. We have the front bumper here. Just getting a flat black, nothing too crazy. The customer's planning on painting the car later. We're just trying to get the car running as of now. He actually sold his other Mk3 just to be able to fund building this car. And unfortunately, just like how a lot of people get with these offer-up deals, these Craigslist deals, the engine is low compression. So he was under the impression that the engine was good and the car was in perfectly running condition because the car did run and drive. But a lot of things on this thing have to go and are really, really wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera right now and show you all the things we're gonna be changing so that we can go ahead and get this thing done on the dyno and performing how all the cars that from Sideways here are performing and built. So let's go ahead and flip the camera, let's get into it. So let's go ahead and get some first glances. We got some TSW wheels, gray interior, so that's pretty nice because everybody wants that. OEM hood, pretty much OEM body, pretty clean, not too many dents, you know, so all in all, it should be a pretty clean build when it's all done. But let's get into this engine bay right now and just look at this crazy freaking mess of crap. So we got air filters that are imploding on themselves, and for some crazy like GTR style, you know, I don't even know, intake system for this thing. It had some intercooler piping on it that I don't even want to show you because it was like literally falling off, blow off valve was slapping around, and just the holes they put and everything. And the intercooler was literally like a Honda Civic eBay special, 2.5-inch piping on both sides, like just horribly, horribly done. Look at this wiring. I don't even know what I'm going to be doing with all this stuff. We got wires holding stuff and just, I don't even know what's going on. I'm surprised this thing even ran. It has some kind of piggyback system on it that I've never even seen before, that I don't even care to show you guys. I'm literally gonna throw it all in the trash. I mean, power steering is like, first of all, non-existent and flopping around in the engine bay. And then what was hilarious is the customer comes in and I look down, well, fan's falling off. And if anybody can see that, we got a hydro pump on this bitch still. So, I mean, at first I was like, okay, it's gonna be blown head gasket, you know, because I mean, like the water pumps aren't really functioning or really even working properly. But then I did compression, and as we can see, I mean, that's just horrible. 105, 120, we should easily be seeing 180, 195, maybe even 210 compression, depending on how good this engine is. The other thing that I noticed while it was running was this is like your vent hose right here, okay? And I mean, as we can see, there's like a bunch of, you know, mind the tape or whatever, but there's a bunch of just like literally crap in this hose. So it was like chimneying out this, like literally like if the engine was smoking, like just at idle, not even under load. And they had this thing tucked underneath the frame rail to where you couldn't even see what the hell was smoking. I mean, it wasn't rod knocked. It still seemed to run. I mean, it did rev, you know, wouldn't rev the red line, but it still revved. And customer just thought, oh yeah, you know, I got a 1JZ and it's good to go. And by no means am I talking crap on my customer. I'm just literally explaining to everybody that he did get screwed on this car for at least what they told him on Craigslist or OfferUp or wherever he purchased it. The car was not in good running condition. The car was not ready to just go ahead and go get ripped on and beat on. And he probably would have ended up blowing it up because it was just in horrible, horrible just running conditions. So we're gonna rip all of this stuff out. The customer wants the bay painted black, so I'm gonna just paint a nice gloss black in the bay like we always do for the majority of our cars. And I actually told the customer, we're not doing any of this. One, just too expensive. So we're gonna go ahead and build him a 1.5 JZ. I actually have plenty of 1.5s and other engines already pre-built on stands in the back. So instead of having to go through all this crazy, you know, maybe I'll just build him his own and not even use the one I have back there in my little storage area. But I'm not really sure yet. So I guess we'll have to stay tuned and see what decision I make. But I mean, we have plenty of engines in stock back here. Underneath all stages stuff. I mean, I got plenty of 2JZ engines here that are perfect for using for 1.5. And yeah, guys, so this thing's gonna be going on AEM Infinity with BC cams, comp turbo smart wastegate, probably a Peaks manifold, or maybe just a Superstore manifold. We're gonna go forward-facing manifold as well. So no more of this stock intake manifold stuff. We're just gonna stop doing that altogether because it's just not worth it. For even the tuning aspects are really, really crappy. So we're gonna go forward-facing manifold. A lot of changes are gonna go into this car. It's gonna be really, really awesome to see how it turns out in the end, because this thing is just like a complete mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the engine out, go ahead and get it on the floor, and I guess start prepping the bay to get it painted, and you know, step by step we'll get it done. So let's get it. So since I have this thing already on the rack and I'm already underneath this thing, I wanted to go ahead and show you guys what I was talking about with the RM54s and clutch forks and all that good stuff. So this is the fork for the R series. It's 100% basically the same as the V160. I mean, obviously the design itself is different, but all you'll do is you'll go ahead and grab, to actually like remove the transmission in the car and to get it like your transmission on, and how everybody does it with the whole trick of leaving the clutch in the trans. With these, same thing. You'll grab the fork and you'll just pull straight out. And as you can see, it is quite different than the V160 one, but that's gonna be all you're gonna need to do. Transmission separated from the clutch fork, because it does go ahead and go straight down this and straight into here. This is the problem that we ended up having with the SC300 that we were building. That clutch fork was not lined up with that release bearing, so it just did not want to engage. So we're gonna go ahead and spin it like how we did in the other video. I won't bore you guys with doing this all over again, because obviously you've seen it in the V160 video for Eddie's car. So I'm gonna spin this and go ahead and go down the clutch hole right here, inspection hole for the slave cylinder, and pull that off right now, and then we're gonna go ahead and yank this thing out. I just wanted to go over a couple other things that I found about this thing. So look at this engine mount. Oh my God. So they left the JDM, whatever the hell mounts that were in here, and literally used this bracket with a Mark IV Supra mount. This is just hilarious. I love finding stuff like this because it's just like totally ridiculous. And then look at this fuel line. Somebody actually went through the hassle of making one of this, and like, look at how this thing must have been leaking or kinked or something, dude, because that's just horrible, horrible, horrible. I mean, they're rocking a 7M starter, because if I was to kick this, it would just not even come off. I mean, just look at this mess. It's jammed on there. You can see there's no threads in the starter at all. They just go completely through. I mean, I don't even know what the hell is going on. It's just, what a mess, man. Horrible. Another little thing, we're missing a flywheel bolt. I have a snapped pressure plate bolt in the flywheel. Some Chinese clutch that was blue we're about to pull out right now, but hey, I guess we're out. and it's one thing less to do, and we got a lot of work ahead of us, so stay with it, I guess. All right, guys, so Robert Razzo's Mk3 is already pressure washed and clean and ready to go, pretty much for the engine to go in, but we're gonna go ahead and paint the bay so we can make it look super nice for him. He wanted a nice kind of clean gloss black, so we're gonna be doing all that right now. We've already moved the brake lines, kind of ripped everything out of the bay that needs to be ripped out, deleted everything, tucked the wiring, so he can be pretty much as clean as all the rest of our other cars are. The fuse box will be getting kind of moved to the front like all the rest of our typical Mk3s that we do, because the car is gonna be going forward-facing manifold. So the rest of this video, after I show you guys the finished product of the bay, is pretty much gonna be about getting the 1.5J prepped and ready for installing it in the car. There were a few things that had to be changed, since, you know, we've already kind of shown it in the other videos, but his engine mounts, I have never seen anything like that before. Complete just some total fuckery that, you know, like just you would see in one car like this. So anyways, 1.5 is right here on the stand, already pretty much ready to go. I have this one already here. We still have a lot of stuff that we need to do, because obviously turbo manifold needs to go off, wastegate needs to be welded, valve covers need to be painted. We're not running this intake manifold right here. We're going to be putting the forward facing. I still got to change the crank pulley. We got to do the new idler. A lot of stuff, but that's going to be still in this video. And obviously there'll be a part 2 or part 3 of this video too. Obviously dyno assembly, getting it started. So let's just take it step by step and let's get into it. All right, guys, so we got the new oil pump on, the new water pump on, pan's been done, went ahead and welded on the 10AN bung onto the pan. Head's all nice and open. We're gonna go ahead and put the BC264s in right now and get everything back together so we can get this thing in the car and get it started in this buddy's car right here. So, little update for you guys, and let's get it. So, bay is all painted and cleaned up, and engine's getting ready to go in. Stripped pretty much everything down. Got a nice clean, just kind of gloss black in there. Engine is here. We're about to go in the car right now. Everything's looking great. Should have this thing fired up in the next couple days. New mounts, new mount brackets. And we got a beautiful clutch kit here on the floor. This is an ACT Extreme clutch kit. ARP hardware, pressure plate, and flywheel. 6-puck sprung disc with the new Drift Motion lightweight flywheel. These are just beautiful and not too bad for price you're gonna end up paying for a flywheel. It's about 350 bucks, I believe, and made in USA, guys. So just, this is gonna look so good in this. Can't wait to get it in. We're gonna go ahead and put this in right now. Put the pressure plate and the disc in the trans, get that flywheel all torqued down, and get it in the car. So this thing is looking just absolutely amazing. Comp turbo's been installed. We already went ahead and welded on the Turbo Smart wastegate. Got all that hooked up, 14-pound base in that. Downpipe's already been made sure it clears for the wastegate. You will have to cut and modify manifolds generally for any of the 1JZ manifolds that you buy. FSR AC delete bracket's been installed. We went ahead and put the MCC loyalty intake manifold, the black one, on, and this thing just looks super badass. It's just all murdered out. Pretty much exactly what he wanted. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up and paint this to match the comp turbo. I got him a brand new front housing. We're gonna go ahead and clean up the tensioner right now, but oil pan's been resealed. Dash 10AN's already been welded on. Water pump stuff's all been done with the new thermostat installed and a water pump block off. We'll be getting the bypass pipe today from Drift Motion. I'll be going over that with you also in this video, just some kind of difference between 1J, 2JZ, and 1.5J. And we still got a few more things to go. We gotta put the injectors in, the FID 1300s. We gotta also put the oil filter adapter on there, clutch and flywheel. We got a brand new ACT clutch for this thing. I mean, I'm just super, super happy about how this is gonna look in this guy's car. We're going for a super, super all blacked out look in this thing. So obviously wanna have some accents here and there, because if you have just too much black, it just kind of makes the bay look all washed out. So a few little accents here and there, but it's coming out real good, and this thing should be in this car tonight. So as we can see, we got Razzo's car back on the lift. Mr. Caden's pulling out the gas tank with the fuel pump in here. tank is actually super clean. So that is super awesome for any Mark III guys that have something that looks just like this. Most tanks that we get are really messed up and totally destroyed. Back here in the back of the car, you'll have to pull the tank out, obviously, to drop the fuel pump, but over here, you're gonna go ahead and remove the OEM fuel filter, because obviously we're gonna be going flex fuel and doing ethanol, and you have to make a custom bypass line that will hook up into the line that runs basically right here, all the way to the front of the engine bay. I'll show you in a second. And then you'll make your bypass line that'll go from here to basically the top of your hanger, which is right here. It's a one-piece threaded unit that does not spin, so we're gonna be installing the adapter fittings right now in this. And then basically, you'll bypass that down to here, right here in the front of the car, right next to your transmission. You'll have your OEM feed line that's gonna be 3/8 barb, which is basically -6AN. So we'll put on an adapter right here, and then this will run to the fuel filter, and then from the fuel filter up to the fuel rail, and then that'll be done for that. And you can just go ahead and change your lines off of the hanger and over here to Tephlon hose when you're doing your E85 reflex fuel setup. So I just wanted to show that real quick. We're gonna be putting this all back together right now and then getting that beauty in right there. That's gonna go ahead and end our video for this week on Razzo's MK3 1.5 JZ build. A lot of stuff happened this week, a lot of work still to do. Car should be getting on dyno next, getting started, you know, just the works. So keep watching, you know, like, subscribe, tell your homies, and appreciate you guys. Till next time.